Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Empower with Nancy. I'm so very grateful for all of my listeners, my followers. My podcast is growing, and I just wanted to say thank you so much to all of you. And today we're going to talk about when sacrifice literally becomes our identity. And everyone sometimes, we just don't think that sacrifice can become our identity. And today I want to talk about something that I believe that so many women silently struggle with, especially high achieving women. And honestly, I want this conversation really is going to be deep and personal for me that I want to share with you. I just feel it's important that I educate and share with my audience, my clients, the experiences that I personally have went through. And these are real, true experiences. These are not fake AI believe. So when I became so focused on taking care of everyone else, and then I lost myself because I was constantly putting others in front of me. I was leading teams, running businesses, supporting my family, raising my kids, solving problems, carrying so much responsibility, and showing up for everyone. Now, for me just saying that doesn't mean that I'm not grateful for it all. It's part of life. But I've learned so much of doing all of this. And so I focused from the outside and I looked like really successful. And I am very successful. I looked strong back then. I looked like I had it all together. But behind the closed doors, I was extremely exhausted. Always had a smile on my face. No one would never know something was wrong with me. Not physically exhausted, although there were times I was mentally, physically, and emotionally exhausted. I was soul exhausted. And I remember sitting quietly one day, really realizing something that stopped me in my tracks. I couldn't remember the last time that I asked myself a simple question. Nancy, what do you want? Like, what did I want? Not what does a company want that was working for, not what my family needs, not what do my employees need, right? Does this make sense? Not what does everyone else expect of me? And so what do I actually want? And honestly, I just didn't know because somewhere along the way, my identity had become so wrapped up in taking care of everyone else that I completely lost myself. I lost my identity. I sacrificed my identity for so much. And maybe you know exactly what I'm talking about. Maybe you're facing that right now and you don't realize that you are. Maybe you've become the strong one, the dependable one, the one that just fixes everything, the one that you just rescue people. You take their struggles and their what they're going through in their life from them, and then you bring it onto yourself. The one that everyone calls, the one who always figures it out, but the one who carries the emotional weight for everyone around you. That's when you have to say, what do you want? And maybe you've been wearing this beautiful title all these years, and you need to be proud of it, right? And don't get me wrong, everything that we go through in life, the good, bad, and the ugly, we learn from it. But today, I want to ask you a different question. What happens when sacrifice stops being something that you do and start becoming who you are? What happens when sacrifice stops being something you do and start becoming who you are? Because when sacrifice becomes your identity, you slowly begin to disappear. And if that resonates with you, this episode is for you. Where did I learn this from? I don't believe women intentionally abandon themselves. We just don't. We don't intentionally do that. I think it happens little by little. And many of us grew up being praised for being responsible, helpful, selfless, strong, mature. We learned everything early in life that being good meant taking care of everyone else because we didn't know any better, right? We learned to push through. We learned to suck it up. Don't say anything. Don't complain. Keep the peace. Don't say anything. Just put your needs to the side. And over time, many of us become confusing the love with sacrifice. We start believing things like, if I love them, I should do it. You think if I'm a good leader, I should just handle it because I'm the leader. I get paid the big bucks. If I'm a really good mother, I should give more. If I'm a good wife, I should sacrifice more, right? If I'm strong, I shouldn't need help because I'm so strong, right? No. If I'm strong, I need to stay strong and suck it up. And before we realize it, our identity becomes built around being needed. When we feel that we have to sacrifice and be there for everyone else, and that dissipates, that goes away, you may feel not fulfilled. You may feel not important. You may feel that you're not needed anymore. And that's not a good feeling, right? But that's what you're telling yourself. This is what you're building and playing in these stories in your head, not the one who we truly are, around who everyone else needs us to be. And here's the danger of all of this. When your identity is built on being needed, you'll continue giving long after you are depleted. You will continue to give way longer after you're depleted. You're continuing to carry things that were never yours to carry. You continue the sacrificing yourself because somewhere deep, deep inside, you've connected your worth to your youthfulness. So, what is this costing you? Always being the strong one. For years, I thought being the strong one meant handling everything. I thought strength meant never falling apart, never asking for help. But let me tell you, I never asked for help. I'll tell you a quick little story, and I'm not ashamed of, expressing this to you or sharing this with you. But when I was growing up, again, for some of you that know who I am and know my story, I lost my mom when I was 17. of breast cancer right before I graduated high school. My father had a heart attack. He lost his job after 44 years of being with one company since he was 12 years old. My family was falling apart. We were separating, and our family was very, very, very close. And I, at that point, seeing my dad lose his wife, right? Yes, I lost my mother. We have 4 kids, and I'm the youngest one. I didn't know what I was gonna do. My mom was heavily involved in my drill team and cheerleading and everything in school. Like, I was in everything. I loved it, right? And when all of this came crashing down, I did not wanna ask my dad for help when he just is going through, all of this with our family. And always being the bread earner. My mom stayed home, housewife. She definitely worked from time to time, but she was also a Vogue model, but always on the go. Very classy, professional, always on the go. Very things had to be a certain way. And when at that point I got a job, my first job when I was actually 15 years old, that's when you had to go to school and get like a work permit to work. And I went ahead and I worked. My first job was Coco's. I was a hostess. And then I just started making money to try to help my father, when all of this came crashing down. And I bought my first car by myself. My dad helped me back then. I think he gave me like $500 down payment. And back then $500 was a lot. So he did give me my down payment at that time. That was what he was able to afford at that time. But I took care of my payments. I never went to my dad and asked, Dad, can I have this? Dad, I need money. Dad, can you do this? I did a lot on my own. I learned a lot. I learned the hard way. And over time, I got myself into debt. I was buying things, I was racking up credit cards and everything. And over time, I remember that time my car payment was $190 a month. I couldn't make my payments anymore. And I did not want to ask my dad, Hey, Dad, can you help me make my payments? One morning, he was going to work. And again, even though I say he lost his job, but he found another job. He was going to work. There was a tow truck out in front of our driveway towing my car. And he asked me, What's going on? And I'm like, They're repoing my car, Dad. And he goes, What do you mean they're repoing? My dad was always cash and carry, don't get in debt, save for a rainy day, very old fashioned. And he's like, Why didn't you ask me? And I said, Because it's my responsibility. And they took my car and I dealt with it and I paid it back and I got myself out of debt and I didn't ask for help. And so going back through, you know, the strength that meant that you never are falling apart. It is okay to fall apart. Doesn't mean that life's over, right? It means that, sometimes it's okay to ask for help. Doesn't mean that you have to carry it all yourself. It is okay to ask for help. Doesn't make you look weak. Doesn't make it look like you don't know what you're doing. You don't need to know it all. That is the moral of the story I'm telling you. It is okay to ask for help. Sometimes it feels like we never are slowing down. We're always pushing through everything. And people admire that, right? And maybe you're experiencing that too. People tell you, I don't know how you do it. And my dad used to tell me, honey, you're working too hard. I don't know how you're doing this. You don't exhaust yourself. Don't put other people in front of you. Like, no, it's you're so strong that you always have it all together. And I will always stay strong. I will always ask for help when I feel I need help. But here's what I eventually realized. Just because you can carry it doesn't mean you're supposed to. And I'm going to say that again. Just because you carry it doesn't mean that you are supposed to. Just because you carry it doesn't mean that you're supposed to, right? Because many strong women and people become emotionally packed that you're so packed that you can't think anymore. We carried everyone's emotions, everyone's problems, everyone's disappointments, everyone's responsibilities, right? It just keeps going and going and going and going. And everyone's healing, everyone's happiness. And eventually we become extremely exhausted because you're carrying it all. Not because life is hard, it's because we're carrying things that were never ours. So we are full responsible of our life. I always say this, that you have control of the will. You are responsible for your life. Now, things happen. There's things happen that we have no control. Doesn't mean that you did something wrong. And if you did something wrong, if you felt like you made the wrong decision, or then don't beat yourself up over it. Just look at those are the opportunities that you learned from. But all of this is the hidden cost looks like you're completely burnt out. When you go and carry all of these things that what you weren't supposed to. And then what happens? You get anxiety, you get resentment, you're feeling overwhelmed, you're burnt out. You start to have health issues. Why? Because you're stressed the hell out. Like you're stressed out. You lose the joy that you have deep down within yourself. And then you start to disconnect from ourselves. You wake up one day and realize that you don't even know who you are outside of taking care of everyone else. That's when you have to start listening to your own intuition, right? This may be you, right? That I'm talking about. Maybe you're listening to this while you're driving. Maybe you're listening to this folding clothes or making dinner. Maybe you're sitting in your office between meetings. And if I ask you right now, what do you want in this season of your life? Would you know that? Like, really, would you know that? Not what everyone else wants, not what everyone expects. What do you want? Because many women cannot answer this question, not because they don't have dreams. It's because that they have spent years putting themselves at the bottom of the barrel. And when you do that, you begin to carry this priority list. So let me ask you something else. Do you feel guilty when you rest? Do you struggle asking for help? Do you feel guilty for going out and taking care of yourself, going to get a massage, or going to buying clothes, or shopping with your friends, or going away for the weekend with your friends? Do you feel guilty? Do you apologize for setting boundaries? That is so tough with my clients, is setting boundaries. Sometimes people feel boundaries as being mean. It's not. In my program, I have such a powerful boundary setting that is so powerful. I give you the tools on how. I walk you through it, and then I actually give you something to reference. Do you say yes when you desperately want to say no? Do you feel responsible for fixing everyone? Do you believe everyone else needs before your own? And do you secretly fear that if you stop doing everything, people may not need you anymore? And that's when you feel, oh shit, I cannot do that. I need to be the go to person at work. I need to be, obviously the mom that everyone goes to, the friend that everyone goes to. Remember, it goes on and on and on and on. And if you're nodding your head saying, yep, Nancy, that's me, you're definitely not alone. And what I want you to hear this, you deserve to be loved for who you are, not what you do. That is important. You deserve to be loved for who you are, not what you do. So, service versus self abandonment is I want you to be very clear. Serving others is beautiful. Leadership is service. Motherhood is service. Marriage requires sacrifice. Building businesses requires sacrifice. Life has set seasons that ask more of us. This is part of life. But service and self abandonment are not the same thing. Healthy service says, I choose to give from a full place. Self abandonment says, I give because my worth depends on it. Healthy service includes boundaries, everyone. Self abandonment includes guilt. Healthy service honors both you and others. Self abandonment constantly leaves you behind. One builds your life, the other slows you down. So, how do you begin reclaiming yourself? First, begin asking, what am I carrying that doesn't belong to me anymore? I want you to write that down. What am I carrying that doesn't belong to me anymore? You may be surprised what you write down. And second, I want you to learn to disappoint people. I know you're saying, well, how the hell? That's like completely opposite. Like, wow, I'm not going to disappoint somebody. Nobody likes hearing that, right? But growth often requires disappointing the version of people who benefit from your lack of boundaries. Not everyone will celebrate your change. Trust me, they're not going to like it because you are setting your boundaries and you're doing something different than you're used to doing. And people will be like, oh my gosh, what's going on? Then don't listen to all the noise that you're hearing when you start showing up to the best version of yourself, your identity of what truly you want. Some people loved unlimited access to you, and that is okay. Third, I want you to start asking yourself every single day, who do I need today? Do I need rest? Do I need quiet time? Do I need support? Do I need space? Do I need love and joy? Do I need different connections? Do I need to bring other people into my circle that benefit me mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually? People that have it more than, the things that you want to do, the people may already have, or maybe the people they're on, like-minded like you. Surround yourself with people that have goals, ambitions, that they come out of their comfort zone, people that you can learn from. Those are the people that need to be in your circle. Fourth, give yourself permission to dream again. Dream is beautiful. Who are you outside of your roles? Outside of the title you may carry, outside of the responsibilities? Who are you becoming? because I believe that there is a woman inside so many of us who have been waiting years and years to finally be chosen. Who are you being chosen by? Chosen by yourself. Chosen by us here, you. I want you to leave with just this. Years from now, I don't want you looking back on your life and realizing that you were everyone else's hero, but never your own. I don't want your story to be that you were strong for everyone except for yourself. Don't look back. I don't want your legacy to be exhaustion. I want your legacy to be courage. The courage to choose yourself, the courage to set boundaries, the courage to stop proving your worth through sacrifice. Because the world doesn't need another exhausted woman carrying everyone else's problems, carrying it all alone. It needs a woman who are fully alive, that love each other, that loves themselves, that knows that they're so crystal clear of their identity, what it is that they want in life. Women who know their worth. Women who lead from wholeness instead of depletion. And maybe today, just maybe, this is the day that you put something down. I want you to put the guilt, the pressure, the expectations, the belief that love must always cost yourself. No. Because the strongest boundary you may never, ever set is refusing to measure your worth by how much you sacrifice. And maybe today, instead of asking, who needs me? I want you to begin asking, who am I becoming? This is my new identity. I love myself. I want you to look in that damn mirror and say, I love myself. I am strong. I am powerful. I am enough. I am beautiful. I am so grateful that I have everything I've ever wanted. Live the dream, because the dream, over time, the more you live that dream, the more you keep telling yourself, it will become your dream. It will become the reality, because you can have and do anything you want. Always remember, thoughts become things. Make this simple. Don't overthink it. You have to start somewhere. Take baby steps. I hope that this episode resonated with you. Please share it with a friend. Give me likes. Share my whole podcast. I need more, growth within my podcast, and I would be so very grateful and so happy to share it with somebody that needs to listen to this. And always remember that you have full control of the will. With much love and hugs, Nancy.